I want to talk to my elder brother and friend, President Uhuru Kenyatta. I have sent you a message through your emissary. Please, if you want to talk to us because you don't want to pay taxes, if you want to talk to us so that you don't return the money that you put abroad, you don't have to cause violence through Raila Odinga. You can call us for an honest conversation, and then we can discuss whether you pay tax, whether you don't, how, nini, tunaweza kubaliana. But it's also good for me to tell you, as you finance violence, violence is unpredictable. Many times, it comes to consume the financiers. Those young people you are sending to loot property and paying them, when they are through with looting property for the small people and there is nothing remaining, you know what they will do. I'd like you to take time, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, if you have time. You read the history on the French Revolution of 1789, if you have time. As the revolution was going on, the peasants decided that the bourgeoisie and the aristocracy should be beheaded. And they started beheading them. Along the way, people were getting impatient that the beheading was too slow and they were craving for blood. A man called Robespierre, to sort out that issue, created a machine called the guillotine. And with that machine, the protesters were able to behead people very quickly. And as they beheaded more and more people, they became impatient. The machine was too slow. They wanted a quicker machine. To show their displeasure about the slowness of that machine, they looked for Robespierre and guillotined him. You have heard me.
Pongezi. Mumefanya kazi ya maajabu. Watu wa nchi hii, viongozi wa nchi hii, wale nimezungumza na wao, wanawatambua kwa ujasiri wenu, utendakazi wenu, professionalism na courage ile mko nayo. Vile niliwaeleza siku ile, msiniangushe, mimi nafurahi hamjaniangusha. You guys are the best. Mumekaa rada, mumekaa chonjo, mumefanya kazi ya maana sana. Na mumepeperusha bendera ya Kenya mahali ambapo wengi walikuwa na taswishi. Mnajua hii mission yenu kule nyumbani watu walikuwa na taswishi sana. Walikuwa na wasiwasi sana. Lakini nyinyi mkasema sisi tuko na training. Sisi ni askari, tumefundishwa. Na kama kuna uhalifu mahali popote, sisi tutapambana nao. Gentlemen, I'm really proud of you. Mumeweka heshima ya askari wa Kenya. Hapa wengi waliniambia ya kwamba kuna vikundi nyingi wamejaribu kushughulika na hii kazi ya Haiti, lakini imekuwa ngumu. Lakini leo kuna watu wengi wanasema sasa tuko tayari kwenda Haiti.
Na ukweli wa mambo ni haya. Okay. Gachagua na wale wengine wote ambao wamekuwa wakisema ya kwamba wameongea na rais mstaafu Uhuru Kenyatta na amewasamehe kipindi.
Okay, na jana ulikuwa unasema hakuna mtu ame have conversation na former president Uhuru Kenyatta.
Hamna.
Alright.
Gachagua alisema kabisa kwenye runinga mbele ya watu kwamba ameketi na rais
kipindi. Okay. Jambo la kutembea na jina la mama Ngina Kenyatta kipindi.
Kwa hivyo you can categorically state kwamba Gachagua hajazungumza na former president.
25
mwezi wa 9 asubuhi mapema. Jua haijachomoza kwa sababu kunaonekana kama kuna mawingu kidogo. Mchana hamna yoyote kati ya wale wote ambao wamekuwa wakisema wameongea na rais mstaafu ama mama Ngina mwenyewe kuhusu matamshi yao pale beleni, matusi na mambo pia kuhakikisha kwamba jamii hasa ya Mount Kenya wamekosa kumsikiza rais mwenyewe ambaye amefanya vile. Hicho ni kipindi.
Do you trust your government? Do you trust them to always do what is right for you? And do you think they make decisions that are in your best interest? I ask this because from what we're seeing lately, I'm not sure how to answer that question myself. From Maisha number to affordable housing, social health insurance fund, even to the new university funding model. Adani taking over big deals in energy and the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Even with printing our own money in a faraway land. Remember the initial secrecy surrounding the identity of the German firm that had been awarded the tender? Let's even throw in the finance bills of 2023 and 2024. What do they all have in common? Public mistrust, doubt from the people of Kenya. Why? Well, look at how they're implemented. Most are rushed. The procurement processes towards their implementation are almost always initially shrouded in secrecy. The most common words you hear these days are restricted tendering, classified tendering, or direct procurement. And we're always given some reason for this lack of openness. Avoiding corruption, or like in the case of the money printing tender, we were told that it was classified procurement due to a looming stockout of currency notes. And these responses come after relentless questioning from the people. The information is hardly provided voluntarily by the government. In fact, government officials hardly take the time to speak to us, to involve us in these grand plans they have for us and our loved ones. Instead, they begin with denials, rebuttals, and then when they finally, eventually admit it, they're on the defensive. Worse still, they're condescending. They know better than we do. We don't understand the economy. They do. And any questions are met with such resistance and offensive responses. Take, for instance, the Adani deal. Kenyans did not hear about this proposal from their own government. It took the relentless Nelson Amenya on the X platform to reveal that there was even such a deal in the offing. Response from government? Deny, deny, deny. Then it was followed by an attempt to silence him and anyone else who dared to speak of it. Finally, acceptance that such a deal was actually in existence. Thereafter, it was what we now term as mchezo wa tauni. Inability to explain key aspects of the deal. How was it procured? How much are we paying for it? How long will they run our airports? The back and forth. At some point, you've seen the posts by even the president's advisor, basically shutting down anyone questioning him and the government he works for and all of these deals. The admittance from him and others that high-level corruption actually exists, including its justification. And haven't we seen the same with such a key plank as the national health insurance? Government officials who are implementing this plan can barely give satisfactory answers to a very simple question. Why? Why SHIF and not NHIF? Why the hefty amounts? Why register again? Why certain companies have been procured for the digital system? What is their mandate? I could go into the questions of the other projects like the affordable housing one and its levy and how that came to be. But I know you know because these are the questions that you have been asking. And the courts have then validated Kenyans' doubts and fears. The three words, unconstitutional, null and void, have rung loud in the last 2 years. Finance Act 2023, the appointment of CASs, SHIF laws, and the recent Privatization Act, all struck out for lack of public participation. So why aren't they involving us in these projects that are supposed to be paid for by us through our taxes and to supposedly benefit us? Why the secrecy? Why the disdain from government officials when we ask questions? You see, it is this behavior of government officials that has continuously eroded trust in our government and the doubt that they have our best interests in mind when implementing these big projects worth billions of shillings. Folks, if you ask me, our biggest problem in this country is that we have a huge trust deficit. And who can blame us? They say one thing and do another. They say one thing and flip-flop tomorrow. They try to shut us down when we ask questions. In such an instance, there can be only one assumption to make.
Dr. Makalimulu, has anyone approached you to sign the motion?
Nobody has approached me.
Why?
Basically because I'm a ranking member in Parliament and they know my position. You know, Sam.
Yeah.
If you look at the ground, just quickly the way, just take the first two, tribalism and corruption. Who would be able to throw the first stone if all of us were to be accused of those? Even the president can't. If we said now, we have tribalism there and we have corruption there, let now those who claim that the members of Parliament like Ocheng and me throw the first stone. I'm telling you, nobody will do. And that's why I was not convinced. The second point is, I think as a country, we have more serious problems which are actually harassing our people out there, that the issue of Gachagua cannot even be number 100 if we were to list them. It will be somewhere very far. But now instead of focusing on those, we have over 300 members of Parliament who are flocking overseas to sign to get Gachagua out of office.
What is the motivation?
Maybe Coach will tell us. And to make things worse, you are putting us into regions. The Wakamba, those who are in Kenya Kwanza, go there, convince other Wakambas to come and sign. It's nonsense, I'm telling you. And that's why I agree with those Kenyans who are saying, who are Makanga, who are Driver. Both of them. If I would be aware, I would be amending this motion to read that we kill the president, we beat the president and the deputy president, so that we start on a clean slate. And then we can say from that point, tribalism, let it die, corruption, let it die, and all those other grounds they're giving. Because when you look at these grounds really on a serious note, I think Kenyans, we need to move to the next level in terms of governance. These are things which are killing Kenya.
But
issues of tribalism.
If indeed, as they say, that the deputy president have been involved in some of the violent demonstrations we saw, what is the right place to deal with that?
But what did the Gen Z say? They said we are leaderless.
I'm not talking about, I didn't talk about Gen Z.
You see? No, I'm just saying, themselves, that's what they said. And for your information, let me tell you, you know these are our kids, Sam. When the few were shot and they went to Kenyatta hospital and they needed money, I think the government has evidence that those guys were able to raise over 20 million within 1 hour from their own resources without being mobilized by anybody. If they were able to raise 20 million to take care of their colleagues who are in Kenyatta hospital, I'm asking, do they need any financing from anybody? These are guys who are professionals, they are working, they have money. Those who didn't have money are being supported by those who have money. So I'm not saying that's because we have an NIS in this country, we have an intelligence system which could have picked this. But I'm saying when we look at it really, how many riots and demonstrations have we had as a country before, led by us in the opposition. And nobody was accused of financing them. Those were even worse. We destroyed poverty. We did worse, more worse things than these ones have done. So I'm saying, Sam, for me, I could not sign this motion. I've not been approached by anybody, and I can tell you for sure. Even they know, every member knows, even if you take this to Makali, it will be rubbished. Because for me, I believe in things which are for public good.
All right.
So these are diversionary tactics. To run away from the undannies of this world, to run away from the problems which are now harassing Kenyans all over the place.
I can tell you the truth, and if Gachagua spoke to me and William did, I would tell them that what they're fighting about is about sharing of the loot. How government contracts, how government tenders, how the Adani group is sharing on their own, and the Gachagua is not involved. So he's saying, I don't know what these people are doing.